Follows with the opening of 2 sets of hooks, 6 hooks per set.
Procedure 2.103, step 2.9. Dragon cabin configuration for departure complete.
All right, Xena, SpaceX copies. Dragon cabin configuration for departure is complete. 2.9.
One of the items the crew completed was the swapping out of a lithium hydroxide canister that will enable the scrubbing of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere within Endeavour during its free flight back to Earth, and a splashdown in the wee hours on Thursday morning off the coast of California. Here in Mission Control, the reports are the crew is running just a few minutes behind schedule with their pre-departure preparations. You can see there in the on the right side of your screen, Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Platonov, and in the center of your screen, NASA's Mike Fink, who is wrapping up his 4th flight into space today.
Push-to-talk destination is set to station.
We'll be standing by for the actual closing of the hatch to Dragon, and we'll mark that time for you, and we'll be able to provide a more refined time for undocking a short time from now. We will indicate, however, that we will, per our programming plan, go back on the air at 3:45 p.m. Central Time, 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time with our undocking coverage, regardless of any adjustment to that undocking time. This is Mission Control Houston, once again looking at views inside the Dragon Endeavour, which is currently mated to the space-facing port of the Harmony module of the International Space Station. In the foreground is Endeavour Commander Xena Cardman. To her right, NASA's Mike Fink.
That's LIO cartridge 2. And at this time, you are go to complete the LIO configuration, IMV teardown and hatch closure per the procedure 2.103. When you're complete, you can execute instructions on hatch closed event details, and then finish chute dawning per 4.010.
Okay, copy. We will be swapping the LIO to cartridge 2. We are go for that configuration, as well as IMV teardown and hatch closure per procedure 2.103, and then we will close out 4.010, completing those actions.
And Xena Cardman acknowledging that call from the core. That's the acronym for the crew operations resource engineer, basically the SpaceX communicator in Hawthorne, California, with instructions on several procedures that will precede the actual closing of the hatch to Endeavour, that will set the stage for our undocking sometime in the neighborhood right after 4:05 p.m. Central Time, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time, within a 55-minute time frame after that. As the flight control team here works to recompute our exact undocking time, we would offer to you that the burn plan by SpaceX Ballistics and the flight control team in Hawthorne will be adjusted so that we wind up with the same splashdown time, give or take. In the wee hours of Thursday morning, the current splashdown time scheduled at 2:41 a.m. Central Time, 12:41 a.m. Pacific Time. Once Dragon Endeavour departs the station, there will be a series of firings of the Draco thrusters to create an opening rate between Endeavour and the International Space Station. It will move to a safe distance away from the complex for the deorbit burn that is scheduled at 1:51 a.m. Central Time, 2:51 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday morning. That will be a 13-minute, 15-second retrograde burn, basically a braking maneuver, to slow Endeavour down by about 87.5 meters per second, allowing it to begin the entry back into the Earth's atmosphere.
Every back, we're continuing to Dragon hatch closure at 3.6 alpha.
All right, SpaceX copies. We're with you at 3.6 alpha.
We're complete 3.6 alpha, 3.7. We'll wait for ISS side 3.6 Bravo. We will be ready when you are for closing the Dragon hatch.
All right, we copy that. Xena, waiting on 3.6 Bravo.
3.6 Bravo is now complete. So we are closing the Dragon hatch for the detail.
SpaceX copies.
We are nearing the point of hatch closure on the Dragon Endeavour. Just a few more steps required by the crew. They're all suited up inside the vehicle, ready to begin about a 10.5-hour journey following undocking to a splashdown at 2:41 a.m. Central Time, 12:41 a.m. Pacific Time off the coast of California on Thursday morning.
SpaceX Dragon hatch is closed with the hatch indicator on the red.
SpaceX copies hatch closed, and the indicator is verified.
And Zena Cardman confirming that Dragon's hatch is closed at 2:29 p.m. Central Time, 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time. So the first step on the road home for the Crew-11 crew now complete as we stand by for other pre-departure preparations to be undertaken prior to the undocking of Endeavour from the space-facing port of the Harmony module. Again, hatch closure for Endeavour marked at 2:29 p.m. Central, 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time.
SpaceX Dragon big boost PPRB ISO valve in location 1 is verified open. Dragon interior is secure, waiting for your go for procedures.
SpaceX copies all Zena and report for PPRV. Good news, your go to step into procedures per the event details. We'll look for completing 4.010 for suit donning and report when complete.
So section 4 of 4.010 will complete.
Houston, station on 2. We're complete with our sides of step 3. Do you need those photos downlink now, or should we just proceed with step 4?
Checking. And Chris, we'll take the photos when we get them whenever, so we're ready for step 4. No rush.
NASA's Chris Williams reporting closeout photos prior to Dragon's upcoming departure. We're in the process of completing the refinement of an undocking time, but we only expect it to be just a few minutes behind the original plan. In this view inside Dragon Endeavour, in the foreground is Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Platonov, wrapping up his first flight into space. Across the spectrum of this view is the pilot of Endeavour, Mike Fink of NASA. To his left, Zena Cardman, the commander of the vehicle. And just out of the field of view is Kimiya Yui of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency.
Jess.
Station and Dragon, this is Houston on the big loop for new undock time. We caught up on some of our time. New undock is 22:15. That is 2215. How copy?
Okay, 2215 for our new updated undock time.
That's good readback.
And Houston's spacecraft communicator, Matt Dunn, reporting to Endeavour Commander Zena Cardman that our new updated undocking time, the undocking command itself that triggers the umbilical retraction and the opening of the hooks is going to be at 4:15 p.m. Central Time, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time, but the actual physical separation that we mark undocking to will be 5 minutes after that. So we expect physical separation of Endeavour from the station at 4:20 p.m. Central Time, 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time.
Ready to copy.
I can report that the control of cabin air temperature via 4.080 is now allowed until pre-chill. Note that the hex is currently configured for maximum cooling.
Copy, thanks. We've got 4.080 as an option for temperature adjustment.
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, the view inside the Dragon Endeavour as the International Space Station flies smoothly on 260 statute miles above the Earth. The station is currently tracking from northwest to southeast across the west coast of Australia in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. In the foreground is Endeavour Commander Zena Cardman. To her right, pilot Mike Fink. The two NASA astronauts joined by Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Platonov and Kimiya Yui of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. The four crew members soon to begin the journey from the station back to Earth, about a 10.5-hour journey that will result in a splashdown off the coast of California in the early morning hours on Thursday. Splashdown planned for 2:41 a.m. Central Time, 12:41 a.m. Pacific Time.
103, moving on to 4.7 now.
Copy. Moving on to step 4.7. We're with you.
The Crew-11 crew departing a few weeks ahead of schedule to complete a mission of 167 days in duration, 165 days of which will have been aboard the station, 2,672 orbits of the Earth in a mission that will have spanned 70.8 million statute miles. Cardman and Platonov, wrapping up their first flights respectively, will have logged 167 days in space.
4.011, but hold in section 1.
Copy. Activating 4.011, but holding in section 1.
The core, or the crew operations resource engineer at SpaceX Mission Control in Hawthorne, California, now working through their timelines. The next step will be leak checks for the 4 crew members on their launch and entry suits. Cardman and Platinoff will have logged 167 days in space at the completion of their first flight. Mike Fink, with this mission, wrapping up his 4th flight into space, and a total of 549 days in space, good for 4th among all NASA astronauts and 20th on the all-time list for aggregate days in space. Kimiya Yui, in the completion of his 2nd flight into space, will have totaled 309 days off the planet.
Hey, Zena, you are go to complete Section 1 suit leak check preparations. We are still performing some final reconfigurations on the ground before we complete Section 2, but you are go for Section 1.
We go for Section 1 only. We'll hold before Section 2.
Throughout the course of the day today, all of the departure preparations have gone smoothly. Again, the crew reported earlier today that it was feeling in great shape, the Crew-11 crew, ready to come home to wrap up their mission, albeit a few weeks ahead of schedule. They completed the final stowage of cargo aboard Endeavour, and just a few minutes ago, at 2:29 p.m. Central Time, 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time, closed the hatch to Endeavour, leaving behind on the International Space Station the newly minted station commander, Sergei Kud-Sverchkov of Roscosmos, along with his Roscosmos colleague, Sergei Mikheyev, and NASA's Chris Williams, who will be a 3-man crew for the next 4 weeks until the arrival next month of the Crew-12 crew.
SpaceX Dragon Big Loop, just 1.8 TR complete. We are pausing at 1.9.
SpaceX copies on the Big Loop, and that's good timing. Ground has verified system reconfigurations for hatch closure are complete and nominal. You are go to proceed to Section 2. Report when ready to pressurize.
Copy, go for Section 2 and vocal.
And the Corps, the Crew Operations Resource Engineer in Hawthorne, California, giving the crew the go-ahead to begin suit pressurization for leak checks on their launch and entry suits. This part of the routine series of procedures that will lead to the new undocking time that is marked at physical separation, the new undocking time of 4:20 p.m. Central Time, 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time.
SpaceX Dragon, step 2.2, ready to pressurize.
SpaceX copies. You are go for 2.3. Initiate suit leak check.
Copy, go for 2.3.
And the report is the suits are being pressurized for the 4 crew members aboard Endeavour. Again, part of the routine leak check activities that will ensure that those suits are airtight and ready to support the undocking of Endeavour from the International Space Station. We're about 90 minutes away from the undocking command that will begin the process of retracting the umbilical that has provided power to Dragon during its docked stay aboard the International Space Station. That will be followed by the opening of 2 sets of hooks, 12 hooks in all, that will break the physical separation between Dragon and the zenith or space-facing port of the International Space Station, allowing the beginning of several burns of the Draco thrusters to create an opening rate for Dragon as it drifts away from the international outpost. The deorbit burn that will begin Endeavour's trip home out of low Earth orbit is scheduled at 1:51 a.m. Central Time, 2:51 a.m. Eastern Time, Thursday morning. That will be a 13-minute, 15-second braking maneuver to slow Endeavour down by 87.5 meters per second, allowing it to drop out of orbit for its high-speed entry back into the Earth's atmosphere.
Houston, station on 2, we're complete in step 4 of 2.103, moving on to step 5.
Copy all, we're with you in step 5.
SpaceX Dragon, sub 2.5, nominal seat leak check.
SpaceX Captain on the Big Loop, we concur 4 nominal leak checks. Dragon, SpaceX. This is a comm check on Dragon to ground. I do see that Mike has his push-to-talk set to ground, if he can respond.
SpaceX Dragon, C3 speaking. Howdy. Clear.
All right, howdy, C3. Loud and clear as well. Good Dragon to ground comm check.
This is Mission Control Houston. With the successful completion of the leak checks on the 4 crew members for Crew-11 aboard the Dragon Endeavour, 4 good suits reported and confirmed by the SpaceX engineers at their mission control room in Hawthorne, California. So just a quick recap, the crew loaded all of the cargo aboard Endeavour that will be brought back to Earth for a splashdown in the wee hours Thursday morning off the coast of California. They closed the hatch between the station and Dragon at 2:29 p.m. Central Time, 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time. All of this pointing towards the undocking of Dragon from the space-facing port of the Harmony module of the International Space Station. The updated undocking time is now scheduled at 4:20 p.m. Central, 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time, leading to a splashdown early Thursday morning off the coast of California at 2:41 a.m. Central, 12:41 a.m. Pacific Time. There's a view of the Dragon Endeavour with the 4 crew members in good shape, all suited up, ready to begin the journey home to wrap up 167 days in space. We will be back within the hour for the undocking coverage, in which we'll be joined by Hawthorne, California, and SpaceX. For all of that activity, be sure to tune us back in at 3:45 p.m. Central, 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time for undocking of Endeavour from the International Space Station to begin the journey back to Earth. For now, we'll wrap up our hatch closure coverage. This is Mission Control Houston.